All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with Business Today. Now we are back and we are speaking about climate change. We want to talk about the atmospheric gases that usually affect the climate. And joining us is Daniel Wanjuki, who is the CEO, EcoSave Africa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
All right, now we've started a new year. And last year we were talking about climate change. We had the climate summit a whole week. We're looking at some of the solutions when it comes to trying to save the environment. Now, as we start a new year, what should shape our focus going forward and our conversation?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here today. It is true that last year, it's like the nature conspired to drive the message home. We had the environment actually being very harsh all over the world. Nobody didn't feel the impact of climate change last year. Then we had a very good conference that was supposed to discuss how we can get out of this. That is stop climate change. And in this, there was no doubt we have to do something. However, even as countries discuss how they are going to reduce the emissions that are associated with the fossil fuels, there was this other aspect of methane gas, which is a big problem, especially coming from agricultural produce, the process of agricultural activities where methane gas is generated by the waste generated by cows. Methane gas is also generated from our normal wastewater management systems, like the municipal wastewater treatment systems. And so, even as the world is thinking of reducing fossil fuels, there's this other monster that is rearing its head, which is the methane gas. It happens that in about 200 years ago, there was very little methane gas coming from the environment because we did open defecation in the bush, so nobody had waste accumulating in one place. Many agricultural activities were very artisanal, it's a cottage thing. You are home, you can't generate too much methane gas. But when you combine the waste from Nairobi and put it somewhere in Ruai, it generates a lot of methane gas. Some countries, the rivers actually can go up in frame because they are laden with so much waste, and that waste is decomposing, and actually the methane gas in that rivers actually make them to go to be on fire.
Now let's look at this methane gas and try to see some of the solutions, especially when it comes to, because now, as you've mentioned, it has doubled over the years. It has doubled in the air, and I was reading somewhere that it is 80% even more powerful than carbon dioxide. So at the end of the day, when it comes to this methane gas, and we've seen it's all over the place, how do we solve it? And what mechanisms can we use? And from where you sit, what is the solution?
Thank you very much. Actually, the target for reduction of methane gas is to reduce by 50% by 2030. But there's nothing currently we are able to do that can actually bring down methane gas. That's where in our research, as a company, we came up with a product called EcoTreat Waste Digester. It is a biological material, which when introduced in waste, actually breaks down the waste without forming methane gas. And that's a good message for the whole world, because here we have no other way of reducing methane gas. But here we have a product where it actually changes the process of waste breakdown and eliminates the methane forming step. And by so doing, it completely neutralizes the waste in a way that does not cause climate change. And Kenya has that unique position where we are able to actually bring a solution to the world in the year 2024. This requires quite some rethinking, because our systems in the past have been, when the waste is out of your sight, it's no longer your problem. But nature having brought back the idea that now we have to take care of the waste, unless otherwise it's going to smoke us out of this world. We are now tasked with the responsibility of taking care of the waste past our normal waste management systems, that is the sewerage, and looking for that waste as far as where it goes, there's the sewerage, the treatment plant, municipal treatment plants, or whatever system that are there. We have now to start looking further into what happens to that waste by improving the sanitation systems, by increasing, now using new technologies that can inoculate the waste to render it less harmful. And in actual fact, we have also developed a product that can be fed to herbivores or animals that actually generate methane gas in their stomach. And by so doing, we actually stopping the methane gas formation in their stomach.
Okay. And now, even the one that you've mentioned, that you've introduced for herbivores to consume, can it be made in a way that humans also can consume? Because at the end of the day, is it possible? Because at the end of the day, if it's affecting the environment, of course it's affecting the humans. And also if herbivores are being given this sort of medicine to reduce the gas they produce, first of all, do humans produce the gas?
They don't.
They don't.
That's
okay, so so at the end, going forward, in terms of trying to make sure that this works out, even with the government entities that we have, what is your solution going forward?
Okay, coming in as an environmentalist and realizing that a lot of our food comes from beef, what you call beef. Like here in Kenya, if you told people not to eat beef because it is causing the climate change, you have a battle with many of the pastoralists.
Yes.
So that's why we have thought about, because the stomach of a ruminant or a cow has 4 chambers. 2 of them are not able to get oxygen from the breathing. So in those 2 chambers, the breakdown of that waste is through methane gas. Generates methane gas and it breathes out. Unfortunately, humans have only 1 stomach. So they don't do that. They don't, because you are always able to get oxygen, and when there's oxygen, there's no methane formation. So that's why we are getting humans off the hook, and we are actually targeting the herbivores, especially cows and think of buffaloes, all those animals that chew cud. And so that's where we are targeting by getting a supplement. The good thing about this product is that you don't have to feed the animal every day. In fact, you are just inoculating the biological material into the stomach, and we've not seen how long it will take, but it's taking a number of years before the animal actually loses the ability to convert waste, food into ethanol, but instead of methane gas. So it could be a starting point for the world to reduce methane gas by actually changing the stomach, we call it microflora, the content,
All right. All right. And now, moving to another issue, the weather patterns that we've experienced. Let's even talk about the month that we are in. Most of the years, January is not usually rainy. When we look at the weather patterns, are they in a way going to be changing the effect that this particular methane gas has on the environment?
The unfortunate thing is that the methane that's already been released in the environment actually takes about 500 years to degrade to half. If you have 1 ton to get to half, it's called half-life.
500 years?
500 years. So it might take a long time before the impact of whatever activities we are doing here to have an impact on the climate. It is only maybe carbon or carbon dioxide, which many people talk about as a cause of climate change. When it's raining like now, all the greenery you are seeing, whatever you are seeing in vegetation, that's carbon. So the grass, vegetation, the trees, all of them are not absorbing carbon and growing. But methane gas does not get any organism that uses it. So what is already in the environment will be there for a long time, and so we need to stop any more methane gas getting into the environment. Carbon dioxide, like we said, can always be absorbed into the ocean, can form what we call acid rain on the forest, and be absorbed there as a nutrient. but that's carbonic acid, which is a nutrient anyway. But when it comes to methane, it is going to the impact of what we've done in the last maybe 150 years since we started industrialization, maybe with us for another number of years.
Okay. So the solutions that you were talking about, when you look at them, and since we've said for 500 years, so we expect to be practicing them for even the longest time ever in order for us to reduce this amount.
Exactly.
So there's not even an ounce of percentage that can be reduced from the atmosphere.
Some of it gets broken down by the sunshine. When it's very hot, the UV lights normally break down the methane gas. But what I was saying is that there's no animal that absorbs it for use in this respiration, and there is no food. It does not provide food to any animal I know of. So there's the data that is out there will be broken down through the UV light, and hopefully that if we are not adding more to it, to reduce the impact of climate change. Yeah.
All right. Finally, as we end this conversation, now that of course, we started with speaking about the new year, and we started speaking about what needs to be done. Now, going forward, when we look at the climate forum that we'll be having this year, what is likely to be, because I know you're an expert in this, what is likely to be the conversation? And when we look at the part in which Kenya is going to be playing in this, from where you sit, what do you think is going to shape this this forum this year?
A lot of what is going to happen this year is trying to bring in the different promises that were done in COP28. Like Kenya was promised about 608 billion to do what we are currently doing in form of planting trees. So there's going to be a heightened activity, allowed the activity of planting trees. We're also going to get the energy sector trying to shift to renewable energy. And I hope our energy suppliers will agree that if I have a solar system in this building, I can actually supply energy to Kenya Power during the day when I'm getting it, and at night when I require I can also get power back. Those are the activities that can actually have an impact. Otherwise, when we talk about electric vehicles, it will take a long time before electric vehicles become a reality on our roads in any mass. And then we also are hoping that when we talk about reducing fossil fuels, we are actually targeting the coal and the diesel usage in many industries in countries like China and India. Because changing the vehicle may not, your vehicle configuration may not have a big impact like the industry that runs continuously for 24 hours, releasing a lot of carbon dioxide in the environment. So that is what we would need. And then on a local scale, I would wish that the country embraces the new technology, the one we are proposing. Actually, we're selling to other countries. We are selling to more than 17 countries. But our country, here in Kenya, we've not embraced the technology the way we should. And being that United Nations Environment Program is here in Nairobi, we are looking forward for drawing more support for those revolutionary technologies that we are proposing.
Thank you so much for coming to Business Today and sharing with us your insights. There you have it. You've realized it's methane gas that is even more